Hey guys, it's Raoul Monks here, founder and director of Flume Sales Training. Thanks for joining us for our Flume Sales Chat today. We are joined by Emma Laing from Martech Tracker. Emma's been nominated as a superstar salesperson right now in the crisis by her manager and MD, Jordan Adams from Martech Tracker. Today we're here to find out a little bit about how Emma has approached her sales in the last couple of months and what the secret is to her success in such a tough time. So welcome, Emma.
Thanks for having me, Raoul, and thanks,
That's
I guess,
all right.
Jordan, for nominating me.
So really keen to find out a bit more about you, why you've been nominated as well, and kind of how you're seeing the current situation, and then we'll dive into a few more questions. So just tell us kind of, what you have been seeing, what you've been experiencing, and also why you think you've been nominated. I'll be really interested.
Yeah, I think why I've been nominated, I suppose, is so I've been at Martech Tracker for just over 18 months now. Started there having never had a job before, let alone worked in the industry that we are all in. So yeah, straight out of uni, and have kind of grown from being scared of a 5K target to then having a slightly more sizable target in the last quarter that we're just completing now. So yeah, I guess it's perhaps more of a collective over the last sort of year, 18 months, and like the development and I guess growth that I've had personally, as opposed to necessarily like the last 6 weeks, although the last 6 weeks have also been, as you know, crazy but positive as well.
Okay, so you've had a quite incredible last 6 weeks, obviously an incredibly tough time and tough market, but you've had some astonishing success from what I've heard and chatted to Jordan about. Just tell us a bit about kind of your journey and what's happened with you since this whole crisis has kicked in, and I suppose a little bit about how you coped and how you've dealt with things.
Yeah, so our financial year is just about to end, so the end of April. And so I guess it was, this COVID horrible crisis all kicked off beginning of March, middle of March. And for me, that was kind of like, oh my God, how am I going to do this? Last 6 weeks of the year, let alone kind of just navigate through a global pandemic. I have to say objection handling because of a global pandemic is definitely a new one. Not being able to achieve something because it's physically out of my control is definitely, completely new to me and everyone, no doubt. So I guess the first things of just working from home were kind of daunting to me. I'm much more of a people person, love to be around people. Sitting in my kitchen on my own is not really the one. I love the inane chat that we have in the office, coffee and water cooler moments, as Jordan calls them.
Yeah.
And, just being around the team. So I think that was kind of like an initial challenge for me. And it's just, as everyone's seen these million things now across LinkedIn, how are you going to, cope? It's all about having a routine, sticking to a routine, making sure you get dressed, making sure you take the breaks. And something that we had in our company is we just completely flipped the model. So instead of just being, you have to be at your computer from 8:30 in the morning till 6 p.m. or 9 to 5 or whatever your hours are, it was purely an outcomes and task-based model that we flipped to. So it wasn't about being in your desk and, evidencing that you're online on our Microsoft Teams or anything like that. It was just do what, set yourself a goal for that day. And once you've achieved it, go and have a break, enjoy your family time, I remember one day Jordan was like, today I want you to achieve one thing personally, one thing, work-wise. So, me and my mum went and picked some wild garlic, made some pesto, and then managed to get, some work done as well somewhere else in the day. So I think it was, having that outlook on it really, really helped. Yeah. And having that come from our leadership, it kind of gives that, you're not suddenly having to question, why am I just sitting here with nothing to do? You may as well go out and enjoy the time that you have all at home.
So before we kind of go into what you've been doing sales-wise, then I'm really interested in this kind of the leadership piece seems to have made a real difference for you. What was the kind of message that came through once this all went into lockdown from Martech Tracker, Jordan and the kind of heads up there? What was the message? What did they say to you? How did they try and steer you and focus you?
So I think the first thing was we removed all of our sales targets from the commercial team. So no one was suddenly pressured about having a number to hit that week or that month or that quarter. Obviously, they were in the background, and we, end of our year, we wanted to do well. But I think removing those targets completely allowed us to completely change our focus. And suddenly we weren't just calling around clients because we needed a new deal. We were just calling around clients because we needed someone to talk to, because we're sat at home on our own like they are. So actually we were having conversations with people more just to break up our own day and have, you know, a personal conversation with someone, you know, what they're like, what their families are up to, you know, what pets, you know, I literally found myself finding out information about people that I would never ask in a meeting. But you feel you do. So you're having that kind of personal level of relationship building, because it's so hard, especially, you know, you can't really build a relationship over an email. And you know, I love to get in front of people and just chat. So as I'm sure a number of people will know, so stop me if I just keep rambling. But yeah, so I think for me it was, you know, from the company, it was just get your communications. I think Jordan's line was comms times 10. So every channel that you normally communicate, if you normally talk to someone once a week, talk to them 5 times a week. If you normally send one post on LinkedIn, do 50, you know, just get yourself out there, and just use the time to just talk to people. You know, people don't have the excuse of being really busy in the office, back-to-back meetings, maybe back-to-back Zoom calls, but
no, they feel.
So yeah, I think, yeah, the main thing was us. So we just removed our targets, and that changed the focus of you know, what we were trying to achieve each day. It wasn't hammering down a number, it was just opening up the conversation around a whole wider, you know, variety of different things.
Well, give us an example. What sort of things do you mean? Are we talking about like going really personal around how are these people coping outside of work?
Yeah.
Or are we talking, okay.
I'd say so. So yeah, I mean, I just call up, you know, have meetings with people. I say meetings, you know, Zoom calls, with different people, and just chat. You know, find out. You know, some clients got new dogs, or they've had problems with kids. That, you know, there's suddenly a child sat on their lap while you're having a meeting about something else, and it's just, I guess it's understanding them on a different level. So you're not calling them to talk about work. You know, I'm sat here on my own. I'm in my family or in the house, but I'm sat here not in an office. Talking to people, you know, having that chit chat in the background. So I think it's almost trying to recreate that with clients, and just having that chit chat kind of going on. We do it a lot with the team. I'll call one of my colleagues and we'll just chat. We're not talking to each other really. We're just typing away, getting on with our work, doing a different project. But it's having that noise in the back of your head that feels like you're in the office.
Yeah, that's interesting. So you've had a very, very impactful and powerful 6 weeks in this incredibly tough time. Over communication, I don't mean over, but communication times 10 kind of on steroids of every avenue is one thing that's kind of come down, and also taking away those targets leadership wise allowed you to kind of have a completely different focus and be much more, sounds empathetic and kind of trying to help. Like what would you say has been your personal secret? Because obviously you've done something as well. It's not all just because of that. Like what have you done? What have you found works? What are clients responding to? And what's made them actually sign the deals?
I think for me, it's just the complete, like trying to be as honest as possible. And as transparent as possible. So, you know, a lot of the time clients will come to us and say, help. You know, there's a lot of signs at the moment when people are in troubling situations and we can't. And as much as I want to help them, you know, get a deal over the line, all of the above, I just can't, because it's going to cause more problems down the line for everyone involved. So I think it's just being completely transparent about the opportunities and the options available, rather than just taking something for the money and a quick win. Because you know, if you're too short-term focused and saying, you know, this week I've got to book 20 grand, so therefore I've got to get this deal, but it's going to cause them a headache, it's not going to be productive, and we're going to lose money based on the margin, it's just not, it's not worth it. So I think that was the key thing of taking the sales target away. You're actually able to help and work on solutions with clients, as opposed to just take the money and take the quick win, and move your focus from kind of short-term, you know, weekly, monthly visions to let's look at the next 6 months together and how we're going to work through this together. You know, this being this kind of crazy time that we're all in that's never ending. But, you know, don't focus on COVID-19. That's just a, you know, one bump in the road that we have all the time. So obviously it's a complete anomaly, but it's look beyond that. And yeah, I think it's just, I guess, just being as honest as possible.
That makes sense.
I've had projects that were booked before this all kicked off. Everything was on plan, everything was going well, and then it's all fallen off a cliff. And I just had to say to them, you know, we cannot do any activity in Italy and Spain at the moment. That's just not possible. But provide, if you're proactive and you can try and help create a solution and tell them about it like from the off. So it's not catching them out. It's not, you're just working with them. And I'd say the transparency is definitely where I've kind of won favors. And, it's just being human, I guess, rather than trying to overthink or oversell anything.
So one of the things that we talk about a lot at Flume is, and we covered in the webinar actually, is this idea of behavior-wise, be empathetic, be purposeful, be valuable. That third bit, because it very much sounds like the empathy piece is in there, and also that purposeful piece, you're there to try and help them by partnering with them to get through. That be valuable bit, we're hearing some fascinating stories around how people are trying to be as valuable as possible to their clients right now through research and through stories and helping them kind of navigate this. What part has that played in your success, do you think?
I'd say in recent weeks, we've definitely, we've sussed out, current challenges are changing daily, if not hourly, with ourselves and our clients. So I think it's being as fast paced as we can to repivot our current products and take them to market in a slightly different way. So our marketing and ops team have been absolutely phenomenal, can never say that word, at just kind of spinning things around so fast, just shortening timelines by 50%. And just, okay, this is how we used to do it, but that's not going to work anymore. We need to do the same thing, get the same outcome, but we need to do it in a different way. So how can we do that? And we've all just bumped heads as much as we can, and in a positive way, as in sharing ideas, not in an aggressive way. We've all kind of got together and just worked out, how can we do this and provide that solution for our clients and quickly, because it needs to be speed to market, especially now, if not ever.
That's wicked. So if you were to give one tip to the audience, like there's a salesperson who's watching this thinking, what's the one thing I should do differently or focus on to try and have a positive and strong month ahead of me? What is the most important thing you've realized or that you'd want to share?
I think it's I would say it's just a communication piece. So, but that goes more than just calling everyone up. It's adding value to that messaging. So don't just, initially it's great, call someone up, ask them about their pets, their family, their lunch, their routine, etc. And you can have that kind of personal level of communication. But then it's also, have you do your research around their challenges and have something in your back pocket that you can then, in that conversation, you can be like, oh, by the way, I've seen that this is going on, or, this is something we've now just, we're working on. Is that going to be of interest to you? And it's almost that kind of not thought leadership, because that sounds quite elaborative, but it's just having those like little sneaky pieces of information, posting stuff on LinkedIn that you think is going to be of interest to someone, that people, I go through there and try and find articles that my contacts have shared and use those as my research. So rather than just Googling stuff, it's trying to find your contacts' articles. So, share articles that you think other people are going to find relevant.
That's really interesting. So actually it's going to your clients, looking at what they're shouting about and sharing, and then you with other clients to teach them as well.
Exactly, because I might learn something with one client and it could be the exact same thing with someone else, but they've not quite got there yet. So how can I shortcut everyone's journeys to finding out that solution? Everyone wants a solution to all of this. So how can we help them get there faster, basically? Sharing that knowledge. We're the middleman between everyone. So how can I learn something with one person and then flip it across?
There you go. Yeah.
Nodding away.
That's brilliant. So to just sum this up, okay, so if we break that down kind of chronologically based on what you've said, number one, there was an immediate communication saying, let's take away the targets as we know them, which freed you up. There was a second piece, which is communication in every aspect times 10. If you do it 2 posts a week, do 20 posts a week, etc. Then in terms of that communication, it was be human. So it is really connect with them, be transparent, be honest, and people play into that. And then you had the collaboration piece, letting them know that you're working towards the same goal, which is helping them get through this. And then the final bit was adding value by sharing what you know from other clients and what they're saying and bringing it into conversations, and also doing a little bit more research into your clients and thinking, what are their challenges now?
Absolutely, because I think there's certain value in just shouting from the rooftops on every channel. Comms times 10, but there needs to be value in each of those communications, because there's no point just posting what you had for lunch every day on LinkedIn, because it's not really going to be that helpful for anyone. But and there's part of it is just keeping the lights on, and like we obviously wanted to let the industry know we're still working, we're all still managing, we're kind of it's going okay. But there's part of, we want to help everyone, so we don't just want to post to show that we're all still active. It's like posting to add value to them. Yeah, definitely.
That's fab. So Emma, it's been an absolute pleasure. Congratulations on having in an incredibly tough time a positive month. Congratulations for being nominated. I'm sure we'll be hearing from you again, hopefully, over the next couple of months. Hopefully your success will continue. And hopefully for you guys at home, that's been useful and inspiring, and you can take some of these ideas on and put them into practice in your business and your teams. At Flume Sales Chat, we're committed to helping you guys as much as we can by sharing best practice. If you know people who you think should be nominated, just like Emma, because they're being overperforming and responding in the right way, whether they're a salesperson or sales leader, let us know, because we want to celebrate success right now, because the way you guys sell has never been more important. So Emma, thank you so much for your time.
Pleasure. Thanks for chatting, listening to my rambles.
It's been inspiring and brilliant. So thank you so much. Guys, if you like this, please comment, please share, and please like down below as well. And we will be in touch soon. Take care. Thank you very much.